For this video, I'm going to do a quick setup of some of the UI, starting with the main menu, and then I'm also going to do some stuff on the levels where if the player presses the escape button, then they can quit, or if the enemy or if the player dies, then it has options of what the player can do. But first, I'm going to start with the main menu. So I'm going to create. I'm going to go to my scenes folder, and in main menu folder I'm going to create a scene, and I want to call it main menu. Before I do anything, I'm going to save project, save this as save this scene, sample scene, and I want to go ahead and open up my new main menu that I just created. So right away I'm going to right click here, and I want to create UI canvas, and in order to see the canvas you have to zoom all the way up. It's a pretty huge thing. Compared to like everything else that you might have in the scene. So here I'm going to create UI, create a panel. Let's leave that for now. I'll create UI raw image, and here let's call this placeholder raw image. So basically what I'm going to do is I have a folder called art. I have an image in here that I'm just going to use as a placeholder, and I'm going to set it to sprite. And then I'm going to select my placeholder raw image, and I'm going to drag my art in there, and I'm going to scale it. So it fits the whole thing. Looks pretty good. I'll move it over a bit. Okay, so on top of this, I'm going to create a UI button text mesh pro, and I'm going to call this play. I want to make this much smaller, so let's move this over here. So I'll make it a nice round number for position. I'll go, so I have to open this up and select this to change the contents of the button. So this will be play, and with this I want to press this here, and pressing shift I want to click on this one here so that the anchor is on the left. But I don't know what happened to my button. Okay, so place it over there. So again, height, I want to keep it nice and round, a nice even number, 20, because I'm going to make 3 more buttons. This one's going to be called what do I have? Oh, I have a continue. This I'm not going to use that right now, but that's if I have a save function. I'll probably just use a thing called player prefs. That's like the simplest way. And I'm going to do quit. So the names of these again. Continue. Controls. And quit. So I'm going to select 3. This continues 10. This one will be 0. And this one will be -10. So they're nice and even. Okay, so I have a UI folder. In the UI folder, I have a scripts folder, and I want to create a script called menu. And I'm going to go ahead and open it up. In the main menu, first I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to go using Unity engine.scene management. Compile that. Let that load or let it compile. Okay. On the canvas, I want to drag and drop the main menu, and I want to go to build profiles. I want to open scene list and add open scenes. Basically, what it means is I'm adding this main menu to the scene list. That way I can access it. So I just have to remember the names because that's how I'm going to reference them. So I'm going to go back here into the script. So using Unity Engine Scene Management, at the very bottom, I'm going to create public void play. I don't want to do this. I don't know why it does that. Paste this 3 more times. I'm going to have continue. Controls. And quit. So when the play is triggered, I'm going to use scene manager, load scene, and the name of the scene is sample level. I want to change this later as the game develops. I'm going to change the names of all the levels. If it's quit, I'm going to do application quit. So these ones I'm not going to worry about for now. I'm just going to do that. And actually what I will do is all these buttons, they're parented to the drawing, which I don't want. I'm going to create one more text. I'm going to create UI panel. This one's going to be called panel controls. I'm going to unparent it. It's going to be at the very bottom. Oh my gosh, this is so annoying. Panel controls. Okay, I'll have to do it this way. Play, continue, play, continue, you have to close these. Okay, so panel controls. I want to I need to mention that anything that's at the bottom of this list is at the top of the layer. So on here, I want to add a UI text, and change the text size. This is way too big. So let's just say 10. Maybe even smaller. Just say 7. I'll call this controls WSAD movements left shift is crouch, space bar drone, is run. So I'm going to I don't know why these are so, they look so squat. Maybe I'll just leave it for now. Panel controls, color is black. I'll make it like that, and by default it's going to be disabled, but in here, if this is pressed, I want to create a public game object controls, and if this button is pressed, then control set active is true. I want to turn this on again for a second. On here, I want to create a button. Actually, I'll just grab one of these, paste it onto here, and this one will be anchored to the bottom. So it'll be called back. Back. And I'll create another called back. And when this is triggered, then I'm just going to reload. Actually, I'll set this to false. Controls. Okay, so I'm going to compile that. So on the canvas, this is where the script is, and it's going to ask me for the controls. So I'm going to grab this whole panel because it has the text and the button parented to it. So the play, I'm going to go down here and press this plus button. I'm going to drag and drop the canvas because that's the object that has the script on it. And I'm going to go to the main menu script, and I'm going to trigger play. This one I'm going to press plus, add the canvas, main menu, continue, controls, press plus, add the canvas, main menu, controls, quit, drag the canvas, get the main menu script, quit, select back, drag the canvas, and main menu back. I'm gonna save project, and I'm gonna save as scenes main menu. Okay, so if I hit play, first I'm going to try the controls. Okay, the image is really small, I don't know why. So if I press controls, it goes here. The button is invisible, I don't know why. Back. Center. I don't know where that button is. Press play again. If I press the play button, why is it not working? Okay, so I know what the problem was. So for this back button, the anchor, I originally put it at the bottom, but it doesn't show up if I put it at the bottom for some reason. So I put the anchor in the middle, and I push the button down a little bit. And another thing that I need to disable this first. Another thing that I did wrong was instead of sample level, it's sample scene. That's why it wasn't loading the level. So I'm going to compile, and this should work. I'm just going to select this raw image for a second. And maybe I'll try making it bigger. I'm not sure what it's going to do. We'll see what that does. So I'm going to hit play. So yeah, if I make it bigger, then it shows up bigger, but I can't tell how much of the screen space it's going to take up. So if I press controls, it shows this. I can see my button now. So I can see all the controls. Press back, it hides the controls, and if I hit play, beautiful, this is my sample level. So that's all working now. So I'm going to go ahead and save project and save my main menu. And I'm going to open up my sample scene. So what I have to do now is in my I'm going to go to my main character prefab. So I'm going to do this in my prefab. I'm going to open up the prefab. And in here, I want to create a UI canvas. So I'm going to zoom out again just to see the entire canvas. As you can see, it's absolutely huge, and you see, So in my UI folder, I'm going to go to my scripts folder, and I want to create another script called in-game menu. And I'm going to drag and drop that onto my canvas. Oh, but it won't let me right away. I have to open it up first, I think. Okay, I'll just open this up, and then usually it lets me drop the, there we go. So in this new script, I'm going to do a public void quit. And I'll do another one called public void try. Okay, so here I'm just going to, for the time being, I'm going to copy and paste this. If the retry is pressed, then it's going to reload the sample scene. If quit is pressed, then it's going to load the main menu. I'm going to compile that. I need to hop back into the editor for a second and let that compile. In the main character folder, in the input folder, there's the main character inputs. I'm going to create an action, and it's going to be called quit, and it's going to be a button. If I go down, there's no binding, and the binding I'm going to use is keyboard escape. So the escape keyboard, you make sure you press save asset. I'm going to close that, and the main character, first I'm going to go to the main character script. I'm going to create two variables. One's going to be bool escape button pressed. By default it's false. And public game object quit. I'll call it menu. Quit menu. So I'm going to go to the very bottom. I'll just copy and paste one of these on quit. The context is performed. I don't need this, and I don't need this. If escape button pressed is false, else if escape button pressed equals true. In this case, escape button pressed is set to true if it's false. this case it's going to be set to false. Quit menu dot set active is true. And in this case it's going to be false. Another thing that I have to do, one last thing, is time scale equals 0, meaning time is stopped. So it's like it's kind of like pausing the game, but in order to get it to not be unpaused, it has to be set to 1, which is like the regular, I guess, time scale. So that looks good. I'm going to compile that, and web error expected. Oh, too many brackets. Is that the problem? Maybe not. Okay, I was missing a bracket. Compile that. So in the main character, I need to drag and drop quit menu, which is, oh, I haven't created it yet. I need to UI panel, I'll call it quit panel. I'm going to add a button, UI text mesh pro button, and this one's going to be called quit. Create another one. This one's going to be called retry. So quit. Retry. So here I need to create a button, in-game menu, quit, try to drop the entire canvas because that's the object that has the script on it. So in-game menu script, retry. Okay. I'm going to hide this for now, and in the main character, the quit panel goes here, and in the player input, I'm going to open this up, main character, oops, open up the main character, and as you can see, quit is over here. So I'm gonna press this, drag and drop the object with the main character script, which is the main character. Main character on quit. Okay. So if I go back to scenes, if I play, and press the escape button, there's quit, retry. If I press escape again, it goes away. If I press retry, I don't know why it's not working. What happens if I press quit? What happened here? Game menu. Okay, so I know what the problem is. So I need to right click. When I was working on the menu, it automatically created an event system when I created the canvas, but it didn't create one here. So I'm going to create, right click, UI, event system, and I'm just going to put it outside here. One thing, so everything's working now. So let's just say I play, press escape, and I press retry. It's going to restart the level, but as you can see, it doesn't. I can't. I forgot to set the time scale, so I need to go back. So originally I had the time scale toggle when the escape button is toggled, so it's only toggling on or when I, let's just say I play the game, and then if I press the escape, then as you can see everything is paused. But if I press it again, time scale set to 1 again. But let's just say I press escape again and then press retry. If I press retry, it's going to load the sample scene, but it's not going to set the time scale back to 1. So I have to set the time scale. Where did I put it? Set time scale to 1. When I quit and when I retry. So I'm going to try both. So if I hit play, so I'm playing, and then I press escape, then I press retry, and it reloads the level, and I can play again. Escape, quit, it takes me to the main menu, I press play, and then I can play again. Okay, so the last thing that I want to do has to do with the enemy, the player health. If the player dies, in order to do this, I'm going to copy and paste the quick panel. It's gonna have the exact same buttons, exact same layout. The button, the on click is going to be all the same. It's going to be the canvas with the quit function. So this one's going to be called, I'm just going to rename it. It's going to be called the U died panel. So I'm going to go into the main character. I want to create a variable called integer health, and I'll set it to 10, and public game object called new died menu. So I have a function here where I take a hit. So every time I take a hit from one of the bullets, I only have it setting the material, but I also need to do health minus equals 1. So every time it hits, it takes one. So I have 10 health, and then it just takes 1 away every time I get hit by a bullet. So in the update function, if health is smaller or equal to 0, then first of all, animator dot set trigger. I have something set up here where from any state, the dying animations play when the trigger called dead is triggered. So it's this trigger right here. So that's the first thing. Control equals false, so the player can't move the player around. U died menu, set active true, in time times scale 0. Oh, sorry, it's not in brackets, it's equals 0. So if I compile that, all I have to do is go back in here, so I'm still in the prefab of the character. So with the main character selected, in the script, it's going to ask me for the U died menu, which is here. So if I go back to scenes and I hit play, I'm going to let I'll just let the enemy shoot me 10 times. He sees me. Okay, I didn't give it enough time to play the death animation, so let's see what happens if I retry. If I retry, the time scale is not set back. You died menu. Is set to true. Canvas, retry. Yeah, time scale should be set to 1. Yeah, I'm going to do a start coroutine. And team can end game. Inside the update function, enumerator can end game. Yield return new. Wait 4 seconds. Because the animation is 2.5 seconds long, and I want some time to show the dead idle animation, I'll say 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, this is set to true. So all this stuff. It's going to happen after 5 seconds. So the menu is going to pop up after 5 seconds, and time scale is going to be set to 0 after 5 seconds. And let's see what that does. So I'll try this once more, back in the scene. He dies. Oh, I don't know why he's doing that. If I press retry. Okay, there we go. It's working. I'll try this once more. I'll quit. Okay, that's working. But okay, so I think the dying animation, because it's in the update, the quarantine is triggering this the animation again and again. So what I gotta do is I gotta create a boolean called can play death random equal to true. So here I'm going to do if can play depth anim is true, I'm going to immediately set that variable to false so that this animation gets triggered once. So I'm going to compile that and see if this works. So if I hit play, there you go, plays it once, I can't control it, and then I'll retry. We'll die once more. I'll quit. I'll play again. And everything's working fine. Okay, so that's all I wanted to do. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching.